Good afternoon, and welcome to Michael and Luca's Excellent Adventure podcast number 6. I am very, very happy to be here today. Next week is my favorite day of the year, Thanksgiving Day. I am so excited for that next week, and I am also very excited for a week from this Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I have a lot of traditions that I'll be doing there, and I cannot wait for those days, 2 days next week. But first, before we get into that, Luca, what did you do yesterday?
Yes, so yesterday I attended the New York Giants football game where they played the Green Bay Packers at MetLife Stadium. Uh, Unfortunately, they lost yet again because they just always seem to just cough games up in the fourth quarter. But apart from them losing, it was definitely a great experience. I had great seats in the 100 level behind one of the end zones, and you know, and even after the game, I got handed out football cards of Giants legends, which was very cool. And uh, but it was definitely noticeable that when I went 2 weeks ago when they played the 49ers, it was similar uh, yesterday in the sense of there was a lot of Packers fans for sure.
Now, when you sat behind the goalpost, did you see the kickers hit the field goals in?
Yes, I did get a good view of seeing them do that.
Did you see anybody wearing like a Bart Starr jersey or an Aaron Rodgers jersey or a Brett Favre jersey from the Packers?
Yes, I did. There was somebody sitting a few rows ahead of me that had a Rogers jersey.
Did you see anybody wearing a Bart Starr or a Brett Favre jersey?
Um, no, those jerseys I did not see.
Which seats did you like better? The seats that you had at the game yesterday or the game 2 weeks ago when the Giants played the 49ers?
Um, I would say they were both great seats. It's kind of hard to compare them.
What do you think went wrong for the Giants yesterday in their loss?
What I think went wrong is well, I would essentially what I said, which is um where they there were times where they had a lead and were winning, but yet again, that's been a trend in the past few weeks. They kind of collapsed in the fourth quarter.
How do you think he's right now not the official head coach, but he's the head coach for the rest of the season. How do you think he did yesterday?
Um, I think he was decent. I think he was smart for putting Jameis Winston at quarterback as opposed to Russell Wilson for sure.
Is Russell Wilson injured, or did the coach put in Winston because he thought he was better for yesterday?
Yeah, the coach thought Winston was better for yesterday.
But Russell Wilson isn't injured.
No, he's not injured.
Um, the game that I thought was the game of the day yesterday was the game between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a terrific game. The first half, not a lot of points, all defense, but really in the fourth quarter, it was back and forth the entire time. And I have to say, both teams never gave up. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. What I've seen out of the Denver Broncos this season is something special. And I truly believe they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and I believe that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. They haven't been this good since 10 years ago, since Peyton Manning won his second Super Bowl with the Broncos 10 years ago. And as a matter of fact, Super Bowl 50 was played 10 years ago. And since Peyton Manning was on the team and won his final game 10 years ago in Super Bowl 50, the Broncos have not won a playoff game since then, and they've only gone to the playoffs once since then. They went last season, but they lost in the wild card against the Bills. So I truly believe that it's their year. They've won 8 straight. They're 9-2, and I give a lot of credit to the head coach, Sean Payton. He's a brilliant coach. He knows how to win. He knows how to guide his team to a win, and he really knows his the X's and O's. And he's been a coach for a very long time, and I believe that it's going to be them in the Super Bowl. And they look great, and they beat both teams this season that were in the Super Bowl last year. They beat the Eagles, and they beat the Broncos, and they beat the Chiefs, both teams that were in the Super Bowl last year. And Another team that's really turning their season around is John Harbaugh's Ravens. They started off the season 1-5, and now they've won four straight, and now they're 5-5. So I would put them in the conversation of potential teams that are going to go to the Super Bowl. And another team that is having a great season is the New England Patriots, and they haven't been this good since Tom Brady's last Super Bowl win with the Patriots in 2019. And the last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl was when I was in seventh grade, and really since then they haven't really done much. Drake May, Mike Vrabel, they're like doing a tremendous job this season, and I truly believe it's going to be a Broncos Patriots AFC Championship or a Denver Buffalo AFC Championship. That coach Sean Payton is really going to guide them. And what I saw yesterday out of the Broncos, they never gave up. They did have some penalties, but they got in the right places at the right spot. Their defense carried them. And when they had the ball last, Bo Nix brought the team down the field and put them in a position to win. And last year, the Chiefs beat the Broncos 16-14. And the Broncos had a chance at the last second to win it off a last second field goal, but the Chiefs special teams made a great play and blocked it. But yesterday, the Broncos made a game-winning field goal to win it, and that really, really. And I said to myself going into this game, if Denver can win, yet, hey, Denver, if Denver can win, uh, yesterday going into Kansas City, I said to myself, if they can beat the Chiefs, they're real, and they really did, and they really stepped up, and I have to give all that credit to Sean Payton. He's a tremendous coach. Um, Luca, in the AFC teams, who do you think has a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
Yes, I also do think that both Denver and New England do. I would also throw Indianapolis in there. I would say, um, I mean, there's like a lot of great teams in the AFC.
I would not count out Daniel Jones. He's having a tremendous season, and he always tried his best when he was on the Giants, but uh, they he tended to struggle when he was on the Giants, and he really has made a name for himself, and he really has stepped up this season, and has done a tremendous job. Um, but the thing is, with the AFC in the playoffs, I will never ever rule out Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I will never ever rule them out because Mahomes is a completely different player in the playoffs. And even when you think he's not having a great season, he's a completely different guy in the playoffs. So I'm not going to rule them out. But my gut is telling me that I think it's Denver who's going to go to the Super Bowl and represent the AFC. Now, the NFC, Philadelphia won yesterday. I think they have a good chance. I think the Chicago Bears are having a great season. Who's the Bears starting quarterback, Luca?
Um, their starting quarterback is Caleb Williams.
Is Caleb Williams a rookie or has he been around for a while?
No, he's not a rookie. This is like his second season now.
And was he on the Bears last season?
Yes, he was.
And the Bears, I think they have a chance. I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams, they have a chance. I'll never count them out. Sean McVay is a genius. He's a great coach. And I'm not going to rule San Francisco out. I think they have a chance. I think the Seahawks have a chance. I think the Packers have a chance. There's actually a lot of teams that I think have the potential to be a Super Bowl contender. And it's good that this season the Super Bowl is going to be played outside at the 49ers stadium. And who knows? The 49ers, they could be playing the Super Bowl in their home stadium. But there were a lot of good stuff, good football yesterday. And on Thursday, the Bills play the Texans, and Thursday is a very important game for the Bills because they're 6-3 now, and if they win on Thursday, I think they're 7-3 now, and if they win on Thursday, they're going to go 8-3. They're 7-3, right, Luca?
Yes, they are currently 7-3.
And Josh Allen played a tremendous game yesterday, throwing touchdown passes, and they won 44-32. And I'll never rule out Josh Allen either. He plays with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. But after what I witnessed yesterday, I believe Denver is going to go to the Super Bowl. What do you think went wrong for the Jets this season, Luca?
Um, well, this season I would say definitely the quarterback could be playing better. I would say it is also on the head coach to an extent too. There's a lot of things that have gone wrong with the Jets this season.
Do you blame it on the owner or do you blame it on the head coach? Do you think it's more on the owner or the head coach?
Um, I think it's on the owner and the head coach in a sense.
Um, to be honest with you, after watching and seeing the Jets these past seasons, and after watching them really over the past 10 years, if a team is that consistently bad and if they're continuing to produce these types of results, and if they have such poor performances each week, and if it goes on for this long, it really comes down to the fact that we don't really know who to blame anymore. And I believe that the New York Jets, they just they just don't have it. I don't think it's particularly anybody's fault. I don't think it's the head coach's fault. I don't think it's the owner's fault. I think it just comes down to they just don't have it. My grandfather, who's a huge Jets fan, he remembers very well when the Jets won Super Bowl III with Joe Namath. He's been a Jets fan his whole life. He remembers where he was when the Jets won Super Bowl III. Um, and he's been a Jets fan his whole life. But he says, and he's right, no matter what the Jets do, nothing works. And when you think there's hope for the Jets, hey, they got a new quarterback, they got a new head coach, it never ever works. And the last time the New York Jets made the playoffs was before I went to kindergarten, and they have not made the playoffs since then. And 10 years ago, when I was in fourth grade in 2015, they had 10 wins in a season, but they missed the playoffs. No matter what they do, nothing works. It's disappointing, but people still root for them. And ironically, in 3 years, in about 3 years in 2029, it's going to mark the 60-year anniversary of the Jets winning Super Bowl III. And since Super Bowl III, the Jets have not won a Super Bowl or been in a Super Bowl since. But to this day, Super Bowl III is one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history, and more people say that that is the biggest upset. The New York Jets in the 1968 season was led by Joe Namath, head coach Weeb Eubank, Don Maynard, Emerson Boozer, Matt Snell, um, all these great players. And before the game, the Jets were playing in the Miami. The Super Bowl was played in Florida, the Miami Bowl, and the Jets beat the Raiders in the AFL Championship. And the Jets quarterback Joe Namath said a week before the game, "I think we got a hell of a shot at winning. I think we could beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday." And at the Pro Football Club, a couple of days before Super Bowl III, everybody was saying, "Namath, your Jets are going to choke. You guys aren't going to win. You guys have no chance." And Joe Namath said to the people in the crowd, "We are going to win the game. I guarantee it. I don't predict the championship. I guarantee it." And they went out on the field, and the Baltimore Colts going into that game were 18-point favorites. Still to this day, some may say that that was the best team ever to step foot on the field. They outscored their opponents. And during the regular season, they only had one loss, and they lost against the Browns. And then in the NFL championship, the game to get to Super Bowl III, the Baltimore Colts defeated the Browns, the only team that beat them. They beat them 34-0. And going into the game, Joe Namath, the announcer said, "Namath has not been bashful this week." He said the Jets are going to win. He doesn't even predict it. He says, "I guarantee a Jet victory." And then the Jets dominated. They never gave up. They played great on defense, and the Jets defeated the Colts 16-7. And not only did the Jets beat them, the only time the Colts put any points on the board was with 3 minutes left in the game. And then after the game, Joe Namath said in the locker room, an announcer interviewed him, and they're like, "You're the king of the hill." And Joe Namath was like, "No, we're the king of the hill. We got the team." And he did the famous pointing his hand up in the air after they won in the spotlight, and he had the big moment, and that was an incredible upset. And still to this day, they say that one, when the Jets won Super Bowl III, that was bigger when the Giants won Super Bowl 42 against the undefeated Patriots. Now, when Joe Namath guaranteed the win, what do you think of that statement, Luca?
I think that is a great statement by him, and it shows that he really has confidence in not only himself but his team too.
And he also said that the Colts quarterback going into the game, Earl Morrall, he said, everybody was saying that that quarterback's the top quarterback. He has a lot of great statistics. He throws a lot of touchdown passes. He does a tremendous job. But Namath said, um, about a week before Super Bowl III, he's like, "This doesn't impress me. I can name 5 quarterbacks that I think are better than this player, than Morrall." And ironically, a couple days before Super Bowl III, Joe Namath was in front of the pool outside relaxing, and he had all the confidence in his team. And they went out there and they really, really dominated. Matt Snell scored the touchdown. The Jets kicker played well. And they won 16-7. And Joe Namath said, in a documentary that came out a couple of years ago about the Jets season in 1968. Joe Namath said, the Baltimore Colts, the other side, may have thought they were ready. They weren't ready. And that also goes with confidence, but do you also think it's like Joe Namath played with a lot of heart?
Yes, I do. I do. He's definitely a player, for sure, who played with heart.
Absolutely. And all those Jets legends did a tremendous job. And Luca, what do you expect from the Jets next season?
Well, next season, I would obviously would hope that they get better, and there's better quarterback play, better defense, and they just get better all around.
I agree. And I hope very soon I'll get to see the Jets win a Super Bowl. Uh, because when Eli Manning won both his Super Bowls, when Eli Manning won his first Super Bowl, when he beat the undefeated Patriots and David Tyree made the helmet catch, Um, that was the third Super Bowl I was ever alive for, so I don't really remember that. And then when Eli Manning won a second Super Bowl, I was in kindergarten, so I don't remember that one. I hope I see the Giants play in a Super Bowl, the Jets play in a Super Bowl. Do you think there's a chance we'll ever see the Giants and the Jets play each other in the Super Bowl?
Um, I do think that that could happen, but I think that it's not going to be for a while from now.
Correct, but I hope I see the Jets win a Super Bowl. I hope I see the Giants go on a playoff run and win a Super Bowl. That would be great. Now, we're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in a few minutes and talking about more interesting topics. Thank you.
Untouchable, unstoppable.
This is WIUR Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Robbie Basil, president of WIUR Radio, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. Have you ever wanted to call the biggest games, the biggest moments for the biggest names for Iona Athletics? Then the newly founded WIUR Sports Radio is the place to be. Launched in January of 2025, our goal is to try and get broadcasters here at Iona an opportunity to learn, succeed, and get a chance to be on air. From getting to call the big moments at the hack, Dinkins trying to go to the rack, denied, Yafet Mundi, to seeing the crack of the bat at City Park.
The line drive in the left field, around third, and it kicks away. The Gales are going to win it in 10.
We make those moments happen on our brand new WIUR Sports Radio platform on Mixer. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me via email or to the rest of my e-board to join the club. We are WIUR Sports Radio, the new home of Iona Athletics. Now, back to the show on WIUR, Iona University Radio.
Welcome back to Michael and Luca's Excellent Adventure, episode number 6. Now, we discussed a lot about the New York Jets and Joe Namath's Super Bowl III victory and Luca attending the Giants game. We talked a lot about that, but now we're going to go into a topic that I think I really love talking about and that I think is a big success. Now, next week is my favorite holiday and my favorite day of the year, Thanksgiving, and I cannot wait for that. When I start the semester, the thing I look forward to the most is coming home for Thanksgiving. I work hard all semester, and that is a very, very special day. What I do every year on Thanksgiving is there's a thing in my town called the Turkey Trot, and I wake up early in the morning, Thanksgiving morning, and I run in the turkey trot. Last year, I ran in a 5 mile run, but years previous, I ran in the 1 mile, and it's so much fun. I listen to music, and then Thursday, a week from Thursday on Thanksgiving, I'll be running in the 5 mile run. Last year, I ran in it for the first time, and it was pouring rain. I still ran in it, and I'm glad I did. Um, at first, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to, but now I'm glad I did. And it was a tremendous experience. And hopefully this year it's not raining hard. I a week from Thursday, I'm going to be running in the turkey trot, and then after the turkey trot, I go back and I usually watch the Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade, and then afterward, my brother always does a tremendous job with the turkey. We put it in the deep fryer. My father brings the turkey home from the deli. We put the turkey in the deep fryer, and then we usually have everybody over at my house between 3 and 3:30, and we usually put the turkey in at like one, usually two. We put it in, and then we usually put the football on, and then everybody starts coming over. It's always so nice having everybody here. Um, my father does a great job bringing home the food, and then my brother always does a great job of cooking the turkey. We always take the turkey out, we put it on the kitchen counter, and then we put it in. And I feel like deep fried is always the way to go. We always share stories. We always laugh a lot, and I feel like that's what life is all about. Luca, do you agree?
Yes, I do completely agree. I think that Thanksgiving is a great holiday, and it's really all about family, food, and football. There's always like great football games on, and the food, including like turkey stuffing and mashed potatoes, that's always great. And just being able to like um, catch up with family, that's great as well.
Absolutely. And that's what life is all about. And everybody comes over to my house between 3 and 3:30. We usually take the turkey out like an hour after everybody shows up, and then we sit down, have dinner. It's amazing. Last year, we watched the football when everybody came over. The Giants played the Cowboys, and then after dessert, we sat down, and one of my favorite movies of all time was on. The original Rocky was on. So we sat down and watched that after dessert. I think the reason why Rocky was on Thanksgiving was because when Rocky took Adrian out on their first date, it was on Thanksgiving. So I think that's why the movie was on. And also, um, Rocky 4 was released on November 27th, 1985, and Thanksgiving this year, a week from Thursday, is on November 27th, and a week from Thursday on Thanksgiving is the 40th anniversary of the release of Rocky 4. So there's a chance that Rocky 4 might be on Thanksgiving. Um, and I love the day before Thanksgiving too. In the evening time, I always go pick up the turkey trot bibs. And I pick up the shirt, and I pick up because I have a pin. I have like a bib that I put on my sweatshirt that I run in. It's a number each year, and I usually save the numbers um, as like memories each year. And I go back to my house, and it's a tradition. My favorite day of the year. It's awesome when I go back to my house. Um, my mother, my sister, and my brother cook the help prepare and help cook the food for the next day. And my brother listens to one of my favorite movies of all time. And me and my dad watched the movie Three Men and a Little Lady, the sequel to the movie Three Men and a Baby. And for some reason, I feel like it's a Thanksgiving movie. So I always watch it um, the day before Thanksgiving. We always watch it. And each year, the movie gets better, and it's a classic. And it's always a tradition. I can't wait to watch it, and I always look forward to watching Three Men and a Little Lady once a year. Luca, what do you usually do on Thanksgiving?
Um, Thanksgiving, well, I definitely always spend time with family. Always watch football and always have great food.
What's your favorite food on Thanksgiving?
My favorite food, I would probably say both turkey and stuffing.
Yes, my brother always does a tremendous job with the turkey. He does a great job deep frying it. And there's an apron that has been in my family for a very long time, and I love the apron that's in my family. My grandparents have it, and it says "Real men fry turkeys," and I love that bib at that apron, and I think we still have it, and I think we should always wear it on Thanksgiving, and that's awesome. Now, what do you usually have for dessert on Thanksgiving?
Well, for dessert, it's usually a lot of different things. So, usually like pies, as well as like Italian pastries too.
My grandmother always makes stuffed mushrooms, and my other grandmother makes turnips. They're delicious. And my uncle does a tremendous job of making. He has a gift for making stuff on his grill. He does a great job making tacos. He does a tremendous job of making pizza and cheeseburgers. Um, and what I like also about Thanksgiving is when Thanksgiving's over, I get to look forward to Christmas. I say to myself, in a few weeks, in less than a month, it's Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So I always look forward to that. And I feel like when Christmas is over, you're like, all right, now we got to wait a few months for Easter. But after Thanksgiving, a few weeks, then it's Christmas Day. And a funny Thanksgiving memory I have was when I was a freshman in high school, and me and I was in my kitchen, and we I was out. It was in my den, and we were watching the movie American Reunion, and we really got a kick out of it. And everybody was watching it in the den, and I look forward to Thanksgiving. Luca, thank you so much for being with me today. It was a great time, and I look forward to having another podcast next week. Thank you.